Welcome everybody to the third part of Building Ecommerce. The index is ready, the search platform is ready, now it's time to build the user interface. We are now ready to build the UI, so let's have a look at the architecture. As mentioned before, the e-commerce store is updating our index using our Stream API, and our frontend is built based on React and is using our Headless framework. Our Headless framework offers a set of libraries to easily communicate with the Coveo backend. So the Headless framework is using the Search API to communicate with the Coveo index, and it also sends analytics requests against the Analytics API. In this example, because it's e-commerce, we also need to add additional analytics events directly from our React components. So let's have a look at the code. The first thing we do, of course, is create an entry to our Headless framework. And that entry is being created here. The first thing we do is we register our fields, because we need to supply the fields we want to retrieve from the Search API. Once we have registered the fields, we start building the search engine using the configuration built here. And inside my configuration, you can see that there is the organization ID, the access token, and the endpoint. And we are setting some search parameters, like the pipeline we want to access and the search hub to use. That's what's being used in the configuration of the engine. And then the engine is used in one of our components, for example, our facet. And here you can see that the facet is using as a property the engine, which is the already predefined engine before. And then we call the build facet, which will create the facet controller in our Headless framework. So all the communication and the state updates are going through that controller. That's how we communicate using React and our Headless framework. During the architecture, we also discussed sending analytic events. The Headless framework will send some of the analytics data already back, but since this is e-commerce, we need to send additional Coveo analytics events. So we are using one of our components, Coveo Analytics, which is using one of our Coveo UA libraries to send the actual requests. So for example, if we are clicking on the add to cart, we need to send the products which are currently in the cart available. So that's where we are using the Coveo UI library to add a specific product. And then we set the action so that our collect event knows which action to perform. And then finally, we actually send the event back to the Analytics API. That's how we can work with analytics. One thing I want to highlight is the extension we did on the search box. Out of the box, the search box renders query suggestions from a machine learning model. But in our scenario, we also want to show products, and products are essentially search results. So we need to extend the search box to render those specific results. What happens is that we added a timeout, so that not every keystroke will generate a brand new query, but only every 300 milliseconds a query is being executed. What we do in our suggestion call is that we are generating a brand new controller, and that controller will execute our desired query. And as you can see, we only want to have 3 results. We are sending the proper analytics actions. And once we get the results back, we are populating an array with an image, a URL, and a title of the search result. And that is being rendered in the UI. Now let's have a look at what we have been creating. As you can see, we have a landing page. The landing page contains a lot of machine learning models, popular products, top viewed, top bought products, all powered by ML. The query suggestions are also using the extension we have discussed before and is showing also actual products. When we search for a certain product, we have the facets here. So the categories, the colors, the size determined through the variant information. And we also use the grouping. You see, these are the child results of the actual product. When we look at product, again, machine learning kicks in. So based on the current SKU, we are showing productly frequently seen together and bought together. So everything is ready, and that is what we have been building so far. And that's it. We are done with building e-commerce. We put the content in our index, we configured our search platform, and we built a user interface. And that's it. Hope to see you next time. Thank you.